Now the latest ITV news in the Tyne Tees region.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to ITV News Tyne Tees. Tonight's headlines.
Spotlight on Send. An ITV investigation lifts the lid on the broken system for children with complex educational needs, where parents have to fight to get them in class.
The SEND system in this country is not fit for purpose. It is failing children across the country, and it's not okay. It's just not okay. It's, you know, and we've had a change in government. I really hope that we see changes.
Also tonight, climate crisis. The figures that show things are getting wetter and warmer, with the impact of climate change having a tangible impact right here.
High stakes. The fears that allowing slot machines to take debit cards could prompt a new wave of gambling addictions.
And comeback kid Borough's Darragh Lenihan returns from a long injury layoff to help them beat Gateshead in a warm-up for the new season. First tonight, and an ITV investigation has revealed the true scale of the crisis in SEND, Special Educational Needs Provision.
ITV News and Regions and Nations commissioned an online survey of 1,161 parents of children and young people with special educational needs and disabilities.
In the Tyne Tees region, the poll revealed that 60% of children have had to spend time out of school because their needs could not be met.
35% of parents have had to use the legal system to fight for provision.
Of those, 25% said they had to spend between £5,000 and £50,000 on legal costs.
Tonight, we're shining a spotlight on what parents, charities and teachers say is a broken system. Katie Cole reports.
A bundle of energy. 6-year-old Sydney from Newcastle is autistic. He has an education and healthcare plan, a legally binding document which states he should be at a specialist school. His family visited 6 and were told all were full, so he's had to stay at mainstream.
Sydney was frustrated, and we were seeing a lot more kind of meltdowns. Sydney's a sensory seeker. He loves to jump, climb, spin, and I think that they just, you know, allowed him to do that as much as they can. But with a class of 30 and one child needing that, that's quite a lot to manage. And I think, you know, in these last few months, Sydney was very dysregulated and he was running up and down. There was lots more kind of crying, which was just sad.
Ali took legal action against Newcastle City Council's decision not to place him in a specialist school. A tribunal was set for next year, but a few weeks ago the council came back and offered Sydney a place at his first choice school.
It became like a full-time job. Like, it felt like that Sydney's admin was just beyond comparable, really, in terms of people you have to speak to, chasing people up for reports, rewriting people's reports, you know, and just pushing and going, my child is not in the school that they need to be in. What are you doing?
It must be exhausting.
Yeah, it's not been the best. Definitely took its toll, I think, on us as a family. You just find inner strength, don't you? And you fight for your children, you fight for your family.
The number of parents taking legal action is rising. In the Tyne Tees region, the number of tribunals was up by 215% between 2021 and 2023. This can be costly for both parties. 95% of cases ruled in favour of parents.
So many of the fights turn in favour of the parents. The parents are right about what their children need. They know what they need, and the councils aren't giving it to them because there's such a chronic underfunding. So the whole system has turned into this massive fight. So autistic families are constantly getting into fights for the basic education that they deserve and they're entitled to.
There are calls for more specialist schools to be built. 2/3 are full, including this one in Sunderland. Its head teacher has worked in this sector for 20 years.
The level of complexity of the children that attend the setting, it has increased massively. That's not just children with profound and multiple learning difficulties, but some of the other children that attend the school that have severe learning difficulties and autism. The complexity of their conditions and the way their conditions present has really increased, which has changed the nature of special schools. We're really catering to an entirely different population of children than we maybe were 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
How would you describe the SEND system?
We have some of the best SEND provision in the world. In terms of our funding and the places available, we're obviously at a point where there's a lot of pressure on the system. There aren't enough specialist places, there are not enough special schools or specialist provisions. I mean, it's a travesty that we're not able to meet the needs of all of the children that need that specialist intervention.
Spending time at this school is uplifting, and parents say their children are thriving. Like Brody. His mum Charlotte says it's heartbreaking not all families are getting these opportunities.
I just feel sorry for them that there's places like this that exist that are just so full to capacity that their children are then missing out on things that they really deserve to have. I mean, we could have been one of those families where we are left without the support that you need, not just for the child, who is obviously the most important person, but as a family, the impact that it has when that child isn't at a school that is meeting their needs, that's stressful for the child, which then has an impact on everybody else in the household.
So what are government going to do to fix this? Well, the MP for this part of our region also happens to be the new Education Secretary. Here she is speaking to us recently.
I think parents recognise it just isn't working at the moment, and I want to make sure that everything that we're doing is focused on making sure children get that great start in life, but also a push around what more we can do within our mainstream schools to make sure they can cater for children with a range of additional needs. And I think training and support for staff will be a crucial part of that, because I hear time and again that they haven't felt supported in making sure they can deliver really high quality teaching and support for children who do have additional needs.
Sydney shoes.
Back in Newcastle, the summer holidays are underway for Sydney. And things are feeling brighter because come September, he has a place in a school that will allow him to thrive and not just survive. His mum just wishes it could be the case for every child.
The SEND system in this country is not fit for purpose. It is failing children. Something's got to give, and quickly as well. This is people's lives. They are our future, and surely we need to be investing in their education.
Well, Sydney and Ali, who we saw there in Katie's report, are in Newcastle. But Katie joins us in the studio now. And Katie, this is an issue for parents right across the region and right across the country as well.
Yes, ITV newsrooms across the country have been looking at SEND provision today. You only need to go online tonight and look at some of the heartbreaking stories. Children missing months of school because the right provision is not in place. Parents being fined because their children aren't in school. In one occasion, even the police got involved. And everybody's saying the same thing, that this system is broken. Now, Ali is in Newcastle, and we contacted the City Council, which said that it has undertaken significant work in improving support in mainstream schools. It's opened a new early years SEND centre, and it's consulting on a new specialist school. But like the case is for many councils, it says we are seeing an increased identified need for local SEND services with a lack of additional funding. There are greater numbers of children who need specialist care and support. Now, the Local Government Association, which speaks for all councils, has said that the number of children coming into the SEND system has increased dramatically in the last decade, up around 140%. Why that greater need? Well, one of the reasons I was told was because of the great medical and scientific advancements and being able to meet the needs of children in early years and during difficult childbirth. But I think if there was one thing I was going to take away from this, it's what Ali said about children not just surviving but thriving. That school in Sunderland was amazing, and you can see when the right support is in place, then it can be great for everyone. But right now there's just not enough of it, and so many children are missing out.
OK, Katie Cole, thank you very much for looking into this. It's something that's happening right across ITV today. And we can join our political correspondent now, Tom Sheldrick, for more on this. So, Tom, we heard from Bridget Phillipson in Katie's report. What are the Labour government's plans on this?
Amy, I understand they particularly want to have more specialist bases within mainstream schools where children with some additional needs spend some of their time and get extra support. The Education Secretary has said that she's already restructured her department towards that focus. She described our findings today as damning and agreed that the SEND system is broken. She warned that change won't be quick, but pledged that it will be fully planned and delivered alongside parents and everyone who works with children. Now, of course, the Conservatives have been in power over the last 14 years. They've insisted the system is better than it was. They pointed to building new special schools, including in the North East, and said that they've increased funding very considerably. A lot does come down to funding, and the public finances are still very tight, while Labour have also set out other priorities, including within education, but the scale of the crisis within SEND provision is now clearer than ever.
Tom Sheldrick at Westminster for us. Thank you very much indeed. And for more on this story, you can listen to our reporter Katie Cole speaking about ITV's investigation on the What You Need to Know podcast. You can find that in all of the usual places or via our website.